Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys two different looks using the new Kaleidos Fresh Fantasy Collection. And yes, this was sent to me in PR in this beautiful little briefcase, it's like a metal briefcase, and I absolutely love it. I think it's really cute, but my kids really like it because they put all their art supplies in this. They have my last one that Kaleidos sent me, and pretty sure they're already arguing over who is going to get this one. Now, what came inside of this? 3 Charisma contour palettes. We have Cool and Light, Warm and Medium, and Warm and Deep. 2 new Futurism palettes, Sashimi City and Lunar Lavender. 1 Lucid Lip in Dramatize, and then this is the cutest thing. I don't have the hair to be able to use this, but I put it on Charlie, my little my little dog, and it was so cute on her. No, she didn't care. It just feels like a little collar. She's a tiny little thing. She's weighs 5.5 pounds, but this is a bow, and it even has Kaleidos written on the back. I just think it is so cute. I let her wear it. She was running around the house. She's such a little diva, and she's just like, So this is in there. I just had to show you guys this because it is absolutely adorable. But yeah, I don't really have anywhere to put this. I mean, maybe if it had a clip, I don't know. I don't know if that's my look or my vibe, but it's cute. It's really cute. I'm going to show you guys all the swatches, give you guys the details, and then I have 2 different eye looks for you as well as a demo of the other products. So let me go ahead and start off with the 2 eyeshadow palettes. The first one is Lunar Lavender, and this is the one that I have on my eyes right now. It retails for $24, and the description reads that it's a panoramic moonlit wonderland. Float through glowing lunar meadows on these serene violet night lights. Includes 4 pristine mattes, 1 gleaming duochrome, and 1 scenic shimmer. For the shades, we have Nocturnal, described as a nighttime sky glow mauve taupe matte. Moonroof, a brilliant sapphire sparkling duochrome with a glimmering lavender shift. Dreamscape, an icy silver lilac shimmer with a twilight shine. Midnight Flora, a night blooming warm violet matte. Wisteria, a lush and breezy lavender matte. And then Crater Grove, a lunar landscape plum brown matte. Sashimi City, again $24. Dynamic cosmopolitan salmon delicacies. That just, yes, give it to me. Saunter down a lively boulevard and soak up the vibe while indulging in renowned specialties. Includes 4 mattes, 1 sumptuous multi-chrome, and 1 savory sparkling duochrome. Promenade, a tranquil meandering clay brown matte. Penthouse, a sky-high champagne gold, sparkling duochrome with golden green shift. Gourmet, a delectable light peach caramel matte. Pink Ginger, a zesty pink multi-chrome with a sunset orange and gold shift. Salmon Skyline, a spectacular skylight salmon matte. And then Soy Sauce, a scrumptious and tangy chestnut brown matte. The Lucid Lip Gloss in Dramatize. This retails for $16 and it's described as a candy coating of coral and strawberry red with golden and pink sparkles. And lastly, we have 3 of the Charisma contour palettes. They retail for $18 each, and they have this beautiful packaging. Again, it is cardboard, large mirror on the inside, and then these 3 different shades. This one's in the shade Cool and Light, and it is best suited for fair to light skin with cool undertones. Warm and Medium, this is the one that I am currently wearing, and it is best suited for a light to medium skin with warm undertones. Then we have Warm and Deep. This one's description on the website is I think a little off because it says that it is best suited for light and medium skin tones with warm undertones, which is the same thing the last one says. So I think that they just have a little mishap. This is definitely meant for medium to deep complexions with a warm undertone. The highlights for these palettes are that they're ultra smooth, buttery texture, and they blend flawlessly. No harsh edges or cakey residue. Highly versatile, long-lasting, and highly buildable. Designed for 3 segments of the skin tone spectrum, and they are vegan and cruelty-free. All right, you guys, you know what I'm about to say. Let's go ahead and get into the 2 different eye looks and then a quick demo and then my thoughts. Starting off with the shade Gourmet on my Zoeva 227. I'm gonna go directly into the crease with this and then buff upwards. Picked up a little bit more. I'm gonna start bringing it up just a little bit more. By a little bit, I mean a lot. Wayne Goss number 18. I'm now grabbing the shade Salmon Skyline. I'm gonna deepen up the crease. Again, blending upward just a little bit. Not as high as I took the last shade. I really like this color. Isn't that weird? Me liking something a little corally. Going back in with that 227, just going around the edges. I do feel like this palette is a little bit powdery. I don't necessarily mind, just because I'm getting the pigmentation laid down and I didn't set my eye, so I have something to grip onto. But it is a little bit softer. Not mad at it though, I just want to mention that it is a little bit powdery. I'm taking that same shade on a Bristles Beauty EO3DM and I'm just buffing it right along the lower lash line. MAC 221 and Promenade. Placing this on the outer corner and kind of smoking this area out. Going into the crease, just to add a little bit more depth. These shades are a little bit more airy, so I want to define just a little bit more. Ink Ginger, I'm taking that on a BK Beauty 206. I am going to place this on the outer portion of the lid. Buffing it upward into the crease just a little bit because I don't want a harsh line. So I'm using this brush instead of like a rougher number 21 or MAC 242 or anything like that. So I want it to be kind of blended out. And this brush is synthetic, so it lays it down really nicely. And I'm using just like the flat part of the brush instead of going in like this. Now I am going in with the rougher 21 and the shade Penthouse. Placing this, ooh, and I'm not using these wet. I feel a little bit of fallout. Oh, I love this. Placing this on the front portion of the eye, tapping over the other shade. Kind of blend this out just a little bit because it's, oh, I really like this one. It's a little bit brighter than the last shade. And take the excess and go right at my brow arch. Move this around just a little bit. Really like this color. I can imagine this wet. Oh my goodness. Royal and Langnickel Omnia BOM 39 fan brush to dust away fallout. Now I'm going to go back in with the MAC 221 and the shade Soy Sauce. I'm tapping this on the outer corner. Just want to add a little bit of depth back in. And then I am going to go add liner and mascara. Kind of placing this a little closer to the lash line, very outer corner, and then a little bit into the outer V crease. Yeah, okay, yeah, like that. And then, yeah, I'll be right back. Zoeva 227, and I'm going to go in with the shade Midnight Flora. Starting on the outer corner of my eye, I'm going to buff this into place and start working it into the crease. Adding just a little bit more, tapping again right where I started. And then again into the crease and then upward. I don't want to go too high with this because I'm going to go in with a lighter shade of purple that's in the palette right after this to blend out the edge of this purple. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter purple called Wisteria on a Smith 235. Going right around the edges just to blend them out. Sonia G Pencil Pro, and I'm going to go back in with the first shade that I used, Midnight Flora. I'm going to take that shade and run it right along the lower lash line, smoking it out just a little bit. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Moonroof on my Refer number 21. I'm applying this dry. Ooh, this is a pretty color. And I'm going to go all over the lid. It did get some fallout. Still getting some fallout as I'm kind of pressing this onto my lid. And this is one of the reasons why I like to not set my primed eyes so that shades like this have something to really grip onto. Smith 235 again. Now I'm taking the shade Crater Grove. And now I'm kind of going to do the same thing I did with the other look. Apply it to the outer corner and into the crease just to add a little definition. I'm having to pick this one up just a little bit more. And I am getting a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. With a new Refer number 21, I'm going to go in with the shade Dreamscape. I'm taking this and highlighting my brow arch, and then I'm going to go add on a liner and mascara. I have to admit, I 100% forgot to use this on camera for like the perimeter of my face. It's the Charisma Contour Palette, and I just used the bronzer. I'm so used to doing my bronzer before doing my eye look and then like finishing up the rest of my face. I was on the phone and I was just like going in and I was like, oh yeah. But I did use this one right here. It's the Warm and Medium. I've only used this shade right here. So I'm just going to go in and add just a little bit more. And this is the Royal & Langnickel BOM 36. I'm just going to grab this and I'll tell you, it goes on like a dream. It blends out really nicely. I just forgot. It's because I was just into my phone call as I was getting ready to do the video. I'm so sorry. Also, for liner for my eyes, I just went in with Spider from my palette because I didn't want to have like a harsh line on the top of my lid. I really like this purpley blue sparkly shade, so I was like, let me just go in with a deeper shadow. And I really liked how this turned out. But I'm going to use this on my nose as well, so maybe that'll help you guys. I'm going to take my Tom Ford number 11, and I'm going to use this on my nose. I don't like to use anything that's too gray on my nose. If you see this shade right here, honestly, I'm a little scared to use it on my face. I just don't use contouring powders in like the cooler undertones like this gray very often. So I'm a little nervous how that's going to turn out. But as you can see, like this color on my nose, I really do like it. I like it on my face too. Like I said, it blends out really beautifully. I like the color. I'm a light medium skin tone, and this one worked really well for me. I always go in and just blend around the edges. I don't always show you guys that on camera, but I always do it. And I'm loving this brush. It is from Rare Beauty, and I think it's the concealer brush. It doesn't actually say on here. There's no product. I'm just making sure I don't have any harsh lines. I'm gonna add a little bit more right in here. Usually I do this too before an eye look, but at least I didn't today. So you guys can see the color being applied. There's a specific brush I am looking for, and I can't find it. Here it is. Okay, it's from Bristles Beauty. It's the F09RM, and I want to use this one because it's so like precise. Could use several other brushes as well, but I really want to use this one. Again, I'm a little nervous about contouring. I'm just gonna get a little bit of it, just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna make this little face because I naturally have a shadow right here and on both sides. And I'm lightly gonna go in with this. See, if I had thought about it, I would have put this underneath the bronzer, but I didn't think about it, clearly. I'm just buffing this in. And then I'm gonna go in with the brush, no additional product, but the brush that I used for the bronzer, and just kind of buff that out a little bit. Now this side. Now you guys might like this, but I feel like it's just a little too gray for me and my liking. I just prefer more neutral. It could be neutral cool, but not so gray. Like I like this on my forehead. I'm not gonna put this up here just because it's a little too much for my style of makeup, but if you like that, then I mean, it's all in one palette. And I'm going to go in with a blush, Bristles Beauty F08AM. And I'm going to take the middle shade from my NARS. What is this? Overlust? Is that right? Is that right? Yes, Overlust. I am going to buff this onto my skin. That helps warm things up just a little bit. I'm going to use the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher Highlight, Linda Hallberg 306. And after I apply this, I am going to go off camera. I'm going to buff really quickly. And then I'm also going to line my lips using the Wayne Goss Vintage Pink Liner before I go in with the gloss. And finished adding the liner and buffing, but I do want to go in with this shade right here. And I want to mention that I went in with the Milk Hydro Grip Spray. This highlight is a little bit sparkly, so I like to add on something to really hold it into place. And now I'm going to go in with this guy right here. It's the top highlighting shade, but it's a matte highlight. And usually I take a powder down the center of my face. Usually it's the By Terry one or Fenty Beauty. There's a few that I really like, but I'm going to try this one out. And I'm again going in with that little brush from Rare Beauty. I'm going to tap off any excess, and I'm just going to kind of press this right underneath the eye area. Ooh, that looks really smooth, and it definitely brightened. Take a little here. You guys, I love this brush. I love this brush. Ooh, it seems to be blurring out my pores too. I like it. Might have gotten a little too much. Get a little bit powder happy. Now I'm going to go in with the Lucid Lip and Dramatize. Now that completes the look. So I'm going to go through each of the products and give you guys my first impression thoughts on them. I'm going to start off with the very first eyeshadow palette that I used. The Sashimi City, I hope I am saying that correctly. When I'm looking at this palette, it's beautiful. It's more on the neutral leaning warm side. And when I first started using it, I was a little concerned because I felt like it was a little bit powdery and I was having to kind of build things up. But then the end look was gorgeous. And this shade right here, I am in love with. Let me take that and kind of drag it down. It's green and gold and it's just, it is so, so pretty. You are going to get fallout with both of these palettes and be careful. I did end up with, I believe it was this one in my eye, but I just rinsed out my contact and it was fine. But I just want to let you guys know to be careful. Again, nothing happened to my eyes. This is normal. I get stuff, whether it's a matte shadow or a shimmery shadow like this, it gets on my contact all the time just from blending and it kind of flicking up into the air. But I just want to let you guys know that you need to be careful. So this one I thought was going to be my favorite out of the two, just looking at it, and it's definitely beautiful. The end result, I really liked. There was something about the look and how I just kind of, it was like a soft, blended out, it was just really pretty in my opinion, but it is softer. Now I did get an email from Kaleidos whenever they were going to send me this collection and they let me know that it was intended to be a little softer than what they had done previously. So I already knew that it was going to be softer, but I guess I just anticipated it more with the purple palette than this one. But again, the end look with this is gorgeous. However, I do have to say that if you are past a medium tan, I wouldn't pick this one up because I don't think that this is as pigmented as previous palettes. But this gives me what I like when I think about what I anticipated the MAC shadows to be, the Powder Kiss, this gives me that. Now I built these up, but if I didn't want to, these give me a soft look that's going to last. I wore these shadows all day long, so this is a two-part thing. I did the other look yesterday, and I loved it, and it lasted. I got a little bit of glitter on my face, but not a lot. So this is really pretty, but you have to keep in mind that it is softer. And if you wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic, you could go in with these shades Wet, and it would be a lot more intense. But again, as you guys always hear me say, I like to use my shadows dry to see if they work. Now, if they don't work dry, I will go in with them wet, or on the lower lash line, I actually use them wet, but this one works just fine. I just don't set my eye. I don't like to set the primer so that I have something for it to grip to. Now, this palette, the one I have on my eyes right now, I just anticipated it being softer, like softer than what this is. I feel like this is pretty dramatic. Again, you could get a softer look out of this, especially if you went in with this lighter purple first. Now, I intentionally didn't do that because I wanted to see how this purple worked on its own. The reason being is because matte purples are hard to do. They can be finicky, and I wanted to see how this performed. Now, to be fair, I don't know how this one performs on its own, like, you know, to go in with it and then nothing else. But I liked how I went in with this and then blended this out. I thought it looked really, really nice. There are a few spots up in my crease that I had to kind of go into a little bit more with a little bit more product and kind of tap, but it ended up working out really beautifully. So I was happy with both of these. And this shade, this is incredible. Again, I got fallout with this palette, and I did get a little bit more fallout as I was applying my mascara. But I think that after I've sprayed my face and everything, I shouldn't have any issues throughout the day other than maybe a little bit here or there. Again, this is something that you could just wipe away. But this is really, really pretty. Now, I didn't get to play with this shade. Oh, ooh, that has a beaut. Man, I wish I had gone in with this. This has a mauvey undertone to it. I wasn't anticipating that. Dang. Oh, I kind of want to go in with a whole nother look now. I just looked at it and thought it was like a neutral brown. And now I'm like, ah! I don't swatch things beforehand most of the time. So all the swatches that I'm doing are after I've done the look. So yeah. But anywho, this shade right here is gorgeous. I like the entire palette. Same with the other palette though. I wouldn't say this one is going to be anything past medium tan other than a few shades. Like obviously the metallics are going to be gorgeous. I think that the deeper shade is going to be fine and you possibly could be good with the purple. It's something you're going to have to work at. So it's up to you as to whether or not you would want to do it. But this shade right here that I have on my lid, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is beautiful. I really like purples though. So I don't know, but this looks really, really nice. The Charisma Contour Palettes. I've got to tell you, they perform really nicely. I especially love the more bronzer-esque type of shade. It blended out beautifully. Everything really blended out beautifully in the palette. I really appreciate the fact that they have a deeper one. Now this one right here, it just makes me happy because there's so many companies that just do not do this. So I like that. And this is the warm and deep. And then this one is definitely going to be light enough for somebody who is light. I would say fair to light. Again, I am a light medium. I think that they work really, really well, but you have to enjoy contour palettes. I don't use contour palettes that much. But with that being said, I can see myself using this shade and then using this underneath my eyes. You can also use this to highlight your nose, to highlight the cheekbones, the center of the forehead, whatever you want. If you want something more along the lines of a matte brightening powder, I like to use this how I used it. And I also like to use shades like this when I am not going to be doing an eye look. And I want to just use something like this. So I will go in with my bronzer and this shade. Like, so I'll take this underneath my brow on my lid and then take the bronzer shade and go all in the outer corner and then into my crease and underneath. But I don't see myself getting a lot of use out of this really gray tone shade. But that's just me. I'm not a huge contour person. But quality-wise, beautiful. The gloss is really nice as well, consistent with their other glosses. Not really sticky, but it doesn't move around the lips a lot. I wouldn't suggest applying too much because then it will. But I really, really like these on top of, like, say I took my liner and I applied the liner all over and then went in with this, or adding it in with a lipstick. But I wanted you guys to see what it looks like on my lips with just a little bit of liner around the edges. I didn't take that liner and fully fill them in. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick swatch because this has like all these sparkles in it. I really like how it catches the light. So you can see this is more built up, but I wouldn't do that because if you do that, it will move around your lips. I would just put a thin layer. All right, beauties, that is it for today. Please let me know down below what you thought about everything and let me know which eye look you preferred. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.